Professor, we got an interesting proposal recently that we weren't quite ready for or expecting.
No, not expecting it at all.
Not expecting it at all. Basically, what happened is we had someone approach us that has a 56 footer,
Yeah.
right? And they said, hey, we've been watching your channel and we think we have a proposition for you. Would you like to go in 50-50 with us on this boat? And we need to figure out if this is something that we should do.
Yeah.
He seems like a really good guy.
He does.
Seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
The problem is, a couple problems. And we're going to take you through this because this is the debate and we want to show you the journey. I think one of the biggest problems is we love this boat right here. And in order to get out of this boat, I think we need to make sure that the next boat is clearly a step above and makes sense.
Correct.
And we don't know that right now.
We don't.
Because there's a lot of potential struggles that come with, if we have a partnership with someone else that we don't really know,
Yeah.
that could be problematic. We get a much bigger boat, means we'd have to sell this. We would have to sell our slip as well. And we would now have to make additional investment into that boat, which is scary because we don't really know that boat. But at the same time, there are some potential benefits.
There are.
Which are?
It's a lot bigger boat. We'll be able to fish a lot more days on some, tougher weather days. It's a lot more room for our passengers. It's a bridge boat, so I'll be able to be up on the bridge and run rods from up there. It's a good heavy, the name brand, it's a good heavy, good riding boat. So, but it burns a lot more fuel, and with a bigger boat comes bigger bills.
Bigger bills, yeah.
Yeah.
Just something that we're really unsure of right now.
We are.
So we're gonna take you behind the scenes. We're actually meeting with the owner of the boat today at the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. And we're not gonna show the name of the boat, even though you'll be able to see it if you go there, but we're not gonna show the name of the boat, just keep that private. But we're gonna walk you through the experience with us. We want you to see it the first time as we see it the first time. And Professor here and I, we're just gonna talk about it, what we like, what we don't like as we go.
That's right.
We're gonna try to be as open and honest as possible. And we'll see where this ends up. But the gentleman that approached us, we were so impressed with him that we said, you know what, let's see if there's something here.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's worth a look.
let's head to the fishing center, Professor, and let's
Let's go
see if
check it
there's
out.
anything there.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Are you ready? You
Yeah.
know where it is?
Yeah.
All right, show me this boat here, because
All
I've
right.
not seen it. I have not seen the boat. Professor here has seen it.
I have.
So before the owners get here and shows us the boat, we're gonna do our own quick little look.
All right.
It's just a different energy here.
It is.
It says all fishing.
Yeah. One of the best captains in the world.
Yeah.
Not only here out of Oregon Inlet, but there she is, Marcus.
All right, here it is. Well, immediately I think, well, you don't have wood that you have to take care of.
That's right, no teak. It's a
No.
couple little pieces there.
No teak.
And a
have to take care
footboard
of.
going in the door there. It's minimal compared to what I'm used to.
One thing that concerns me right out the gate, though, is that we don't have any mezzanine seating there.
Yeah.
And I just, like me personally, I love mezzanine seating because I want to sit back there
Yeah, I
as
agree.
much as I can.
100%.
So if we had to redo that out the gate, what do you think we're probably going to look at there?
Shoo, I don't know. I mean, that'd probably be a $20,000 project.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. In my mind, I just said 20 to 30 grand
Yeah.
is my guess to take that and to make it mezz.
Yeah, and it all depends. I'm not sure what, we haven't even looked inside of the boat. I don't know if they're just storage or refrigerated compartments, or I'm not exactly sure,
Yeah. What do you think about our lines, Cap?
She's pretty. She's got that Carolina flair. Not a fan of the big oversized vent on the side. And it might just be an aesthetics thing or why it's so big. It could be a purpose for it, but we'll get to the bottom of it and figure it out.
A lot of room on the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Are
What I
those-
understand, she's built pretty good. It's a good sea boat.
Is that painted black or those actual windows on the side?
There are windows on the side, but it's painted black in the front.
Now, do most of them have windows on the side?
Most of them do, yeah. You can see out of the side. It's just tinted, you know, to keep the sun from shining in there and getting too warm.
That tuna door is probably a little bigger than ours.
Yeah, it is.
Which sometimes ours a little
It's tight,
tight,
yeah.
which can damage the fish a little bit if we're not careful.
You can, yeah.
So that's kind of good. Looks like what's like a all grip or something on the floor. I don't know what that is. But.
The paint looks to be in pretty good condition. You see on the spray rail over here where she's bumped some poles and paint's popped off, but that's normal wear and tear.
Right.
They're actually kind of made for that, so they crack and break up before the side of the boat does.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it's one of their purposes.
Right. You got 4 big antennas on this boat. Why so many?
Well, they have different radios on here, so.
The electronics from here look pretty old.
From what I understand, it needs an electronics upgrade.
And that's pretty expensive.
It is.
And once again, 20s?
I'd say more than that. I mean, one of those 16-inch screen is, you know, Garmin 16-inch screen is like $6,000 just for one screen. So,
Garmin, why do you do this to us? Killing me.
Why do they all do it?
You got to make a profit, but God, dang.
That's just for the screen itself.
And you, in a perfect world, you want what for your perfect setup?
A minimum of 2 16-inch screens.
2 16-inch screens, plus we're going to want side scan.
Yeah.
I'm sure it doesn't have side scan.
No.
So if it doesn't have side scan, it doesn't have those 2 16-inch screens, now we're probably getting closer to 40, huh?
Yeah, probably by the time it's all said and done, installed. And, you know, I'm not sure. It probably has older Faruna radar on it, but you'd want to upgrade that, you know, at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all your stuff is linked together. I'm not sure about the autopilot, you know, what it has for that, whether that could be integrated. The existing autopilot could be integrated into the new electronics and stuff like that. So.
What is your, like when you look at this, just like what's your gut? And be real here.
I mean, it's a beautiful rig. I love it. I don't know. I'd have to see the inside. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I really need to go around the other side of the marina and really check out her lines, you know, and see what exactly she looks like off the bow. You know.
What do you want to see in her lines? Like someone says, I don't understand what he means by her lines.
Well, the way the boat's shaped, the curves, you know.
Is this a centerfold? What's the deal?
It's like a centerfold, you know what I mean? It's curved like that, you know. I was trying to figure out a way to say that, but you got me there. But yeah, I mean, it's just like a beautiful woman. She got curves, you know.
And you like your one thing that you love about Speechless right now.
It's curvy.
Is she's very curvy. It looks beautiful just to look. I think the curves represent to me workmanship.
It does.
And custom.
Yeah.
And you know, it's almost like the antithesis of production. Not that production boats aren't nice and wonderful, but like to me the curve says this boat is singularly built.
Yeah, and they took their talent and hard work and their just know-how and they put into it their experience, and you can tell it's not a cookie cutter, you know.
Right. He's not even there, so don't even worry about it. And but this way people get to see our journey, kind of like I told you. And so yeah, we can hop on whenever you want. You're the boss, Dow.
Come on. So you just told me what y'all want to do. If y'all want to look around.
Yeah, Ron, you're in charge here, Ron. So you ask away.
Give us a tour back here.
Okay, so the cockpit's kind of, you know, set up. This is basic early 2000s before the mezzanines were crazed. So you got the tall cabinets. We did that last year. You know, just a quick idea to get a freezer in there for fishing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bait box, so you know, everyday fishing. That's where they have the bait tray. Engine room access is, you know, this is core. It's insulated. This is also insulated. I think, yeah, they could call it kind of their wash down gear in here. This back part is where they keep all their ice, for daily fishing. That's insulated. This plumbed and rigged for an ice dump.
That says bluefin tuna season to me.
Yeah, you can put that fits a lot of ice.
Let's go inside first.
All right, inside.
Yeah.
Let's get Krista warmed up.
Yeah. All right, Dal, give us a tour.
So, one thing fishing, you never really know about a boat until you are on it for a while, so there's always a risk up front. And a couple things that I've been pleasantly surprised with are the performance, just the ride and seaworthiness of this boat, but also just really enjoying the interior space. Even with this size boat, the salon is big.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room in here.
How's the AC work? Does it do a good job on a hot day?
It does. This one right here blows like crazy.
What's your thought on the electronics?
They're functional. This stuff's a little bit dated. Did you look at anything else?
I haven't been up there yet.
You want to go up there first?
Yeah.
Let's go up there. Wow.
So those are just your control engine displays. This is a control box for your controls.
So Ron, realistically, what do you like and what concerns you about this electronic setup?
I mean, if it's all functional, it's good enough to go fishing, but ideally, you just know how anal I am, Marcus.
No, I want you to say it. I want you to.
Everything has to match and it has to be the same name brand. A lot of guys love that. That's what they cut their teeth on using. But I can't tell you how many days I've been fishing this spring where we've fished nothing but a fog bank and you're trolling all day by your radar. Yeah. Like you're not even looking up. You're doing this all day long. And a lot of the functions on the newer radars, I don't know if you're familiar with them, they have trail modes and stuff like that, where you can actually see which way the boat's moving. And I can tell you there was days that I would have, all right, I've had enough of this, we're going home, if I hadn't had that. To me, that's a valuable tool.
You can anticipate right
there.
Yeah.
The curtains seem to be in pretty good shape, a little foggy, but...
The front curtains are new, so from here back, once again, we kind of got bogged down fishing and we were worried about pulling them and not getting them in time. That's something that is hard to get done quickly sometimes. So.
They do have the vents in the top, so you can open the vents up and get a little fresh air without having the full blast of...
Right. In terms of the configuration up here, outside of just the electronics, and in terms of working the rods and whatnot, so I know when we looked at boats the first time, I remember you were telling, there's spacing you cared about and all these things. How does this?
It's pretty good for everyday fishing. I mean, I know that chair is there to have somebody here, but it'd be better if it wasn't there.
It limits your ability for you to move quickly. Yeah. So you probably would not have this?
No, I wouldn't like that there.
Brandy would be sad.
Well, that should be all right. She can sit right there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, the teaser reel placement is good. There's plenty of room behind the chair.
Right. All right, to the engine room there, Professor.
Let's go.
What are you hoping to see here?
Clean.
Clean? All right. Let's see if it's clean. He likes clean.
Although if you go in my engine room right now, it's not too super clean. Got mirrors on the ceiling in here, Marcus.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So you can see what's going on the top side.
Yeah. What surprises me, but this is me being ignorant, because I don't know any better. The thing that surprises me is I thought it would be taller in here with the size of the boat. At what point do they have walk-in engine rooms? Is that way bigger boat?
It is, but I mean, when you get over 60 feet and 70 feet, they're walk-in, but
most are going to be like this. Most are going to...
All depends on how they're configured. You know what I mean? Every boat builder is different.
Yeah, you can look at some boats in here. If you walk down the dock and look side by side, there'll be some boats that are the same length. They're much higher freeboard. This thing, if you see her on the water, and to me, I'm a pretty boat guy. I love a pretty boat. She's got a low profile and a really sleek look, and part of that's keeping everything a little lower.
One thing about this boat, it sticks out. out of the fleet. I've noticed that. I mean, you can look at, most time you see a bunch of white boats, Carolina boats, and they all kind of all look the same. But you can pick this boat out of the fleet.
Well, this was nice. We appreciate you all giving us the grand tour.
I appreciate y'all just entertaining the idea anyway.
Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to it. We just, frankly, we just got to weigh out what are the pros, what are the cons, which scale is heavier.
Yeah.
All right, Sal. Nice meeting you.
Yeah,
This was a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That was a nice guy.
Man,
Really nice guy.
it's amazing that there are some great people still left in the world like that, man.
Yeah, you just a good vibe,
Yeah.
and it's the type of person that, because it's very scary even considering getting in business with anybody.
Yeah.
He's the type though that is like, well, you can actually see it with him.
Yeah.
Because good guy,
Yeah. Really good guy.
really good guy. We haven't talked about our feelings until this moment
No.
because I wanted to be as real as possible for our viewers. So you start and just say whatever. Let's start with, before we say like where we think what we should do. Let's start with just what you noticed about the boat, what you liked. Let's go with what we liked first, and then we'll talk about what we didn't like.
Well, the boat's beautiful. You can tell it's a great sea boat. Just a lot of space, a lot of room in it, a lot of places to sleep.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
And the beds, because it's such a longer boat, the beds are further distance from the bow,
Yeah.
which means it would be more comfortable on rides to lay down. You can't really do that nearly as comfortably in our boat.
Hmm.
Not intimidating at all to spend the night on that boat offshore during like bluefin season, whereas very hard to make the space in our boat.
Yeah.
What else did you like about it?
The bridge, set up nice. There's a lot to like about that boat.
Less maintenance too.
Yeah.
I noticed, because it's got so much less teak.
Yeah. A lot of room in the salon, for people to sit. Bigger air conditioned space for people to be there,
Right.
be more comfortable.
Right.
More of a functioning kitchen area, galley.
Yeah.
Um,
The other potential benefit is if we were 50% owners with someone sharing costs, potentially that is a win.
Yeah.
Now, if we more than double our expenses, then we're going backwards,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
Which there's your trade. And obviously a big benefit to this would just be if we're able to, it's no guarantee, but it could be the quick ticket to the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center.
But that's one of the requirements to get in one of the fleets here. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You've got to have a
bigger boat.
a bigger boat. Our boat currently is 40. It has to be how long?
I'm not sure the exact length, but it's over 50.
Yeah.
And I just know that we're right short of making
Yeah,
it.
we're right short of that.
Not to mention, one positive is it's 9 miles closer to the ocean. And this boat's faster too. That means getting to the fishing grounds.
Yeah,
a little bit
27
faster.
knots. Our current boat cruises around 21.
21, 22, 23.
Right. Now, we would probably slack it off
Yeah.
and end up going around 22, 23 anyway, because that's what most of the fleet goes.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be so weather dependent on our speed. Like right now, if there's any kind of head sea, I have to slack her back. Sometimes I can't do but 16 knots or
Yeah.
something like that. you
Find
know.
a boat to get behind type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any more pros that you can think of?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lot of them. I just, it's really too many to mention.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to thinking about all the negatives.
Yeah.
In my
But
mind.
it's important that we go after the negatives hard,
Yeah.
because they'll eat us later if we don't think about them now. If we just try to ignore them or gloss over them, it really will kick our teeth in.
That's right.
So let's talk about the negatives, and let's just focus on like the boat itself and not some of the other potential negatives. And we'll look at some of the other potential negatives. But
Yeah.
the boat itself, what do you see as the things that concern you the most?
Well, it's kind of intimidating, really, because the boat really wasn't built as to be a charter boat. So it's had a lot of systems on it.
Yeah.
A lot of unnecessary systems, which means a lot more for me to learn, a lot more for me to maintain, upkeep, make
And that
sure
engine
they're
room was
working right.
very, I was like, holy cow.
There's a lot going on down there. Yeah.
And there's quite a learning curve just to learn ours.
Yeah.
And you still have more to learn, I'm sure.
Of course, you never quit learning.
How much more? Is it 2x, 3x?
Probably
Oh.
5x.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's super complex.
Yeah.
The engine room, intimidating to learn that. Totally get that. Keep going. What
And
else?
It's just the engines, not being familiar with them, that brand.
Right.
I'm not familiar with a lot of them, but when I go in that engine room and look around, I see the way I felt when I went into the Speechless engine room for the first time, times 5.
Times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that would be really intimidating. So let's keep going. Drawbacks to the boat itself.
It needs some cosmetic repairs. Like the spray rail there the paint's cracked off of it. There's a couple cracks here and there. So they're not like structural.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just, it's typical for a boat. A lot of
Yeah.
people wouldn't even care or notice, but we notice these things.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be done right away. So that's one of those we can live without for a while,
Right.
if we did it. All right, let's keep going. What else?
The interior needs a little upgrading.
Man, I tell you, I don't know what those shades or whatever they were. They look like they were straight from the 1970s, but overall the interior looked pretty decent.
Oh, all the
Carpet
wood.
looked good, the wood looked good.
Yeah, it did.
But just it was that one that kind of like just stood out. But yeah, that needs to go. That needs to be replaced right away
Yeah.
because I couldn't stand looking at that.
No.
But I thought the rest of the interior pretty solid.
Yeah. So bathroom, the master head downstairs, the paint kind of had a yellowish tint to it, and then they could use repainting. But not a super huge project. It's something that I could even tackle on my own. Just little small things like that.
I would have to have mezz seating personally. I just want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the salon a lot.
Right.
And I just feel better when I'm out in the air. So that's a drawback because that's going to be an expense, probably in the $20,000 range,
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
easily to get that where it is. I know a big concern is the electronics.
Yeah, for me it is. That's a tool that I use nonstop every day. It's kind of like your cell phone. Everybody uses their cell phone all day, every day. And if that piece of equipment is ancient and it doesn't perform to the ability that that it needs to perform to help you,
That is essential. It really looks dated.
Yeah.
That Furono in there is just super dated.
Definitely needs an upgrade.
Yeah. And so $40,000 if we got side scan and all that.
Yeah, pretty easy 40.
Yeah. And then you say, would it just make more sense to get Omni immediately?
Yeah,
Because you're
right.
kind of, you're going to want to
Yeah.
get Omni in a few years. So there's that. So do you feel like you can walk away knowing that, hey, this could have been our shot to get in early into a bigger boat, early into the fishing center? That is a sacrifice.
That is a sacrifice, yeah. And that's what I'm kind of torn about. You know what I mean? I love the boat, but I'm not in love with the boat. Do I think it could be a jump start for the future? I do. I think that if we pass it up, we're probably missing an opportunity. But who's to say that an opportunity might not knock on your door tomorrow?
Well, what bothers me the most is we bought Speechless at the top of the market,
Yeah.
and then we're going to sell her at the bottom.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's a kick
Yeah.
in the midsection,
Yeah.
big time. And so I know what the market is right now. We both know. We look all the time just because we look anyway.
Yeah.
I know boaters really, really well, the boating industry, marine industry well. It is hard to sell right now. So
And get good money, like top dollar for your rigging.
Yeah.
She's a top dollar boat. I couldn't bring myself to give her away.
the market on that boat right now looks like it's around 500,000.
Yeah.
And knowing that would take us backwards quite a bit with all that we put into it, not just maintenance.
Yeah.
I'm talking about serious upgrades to the boat to make the boat better. We did the entire cabin. It wasn't done. So that would be tough.
Yeah.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
My gut tells me we're not ready.
Yeah.
not that we're not ready to be here, but the deal's just not quite right.
Right.
If we could go in and not have to spend money to get the boat, and it wasn't a big spend right now, then I would say we really should consider it.
Like, you mean go in and not have to do any upgrades to the boat? It's ready? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or do the upgrades, but by selling Speechless,
Oh,
even selling the slip at Pirates Cove, that we were coming way ahead enough to where we had zero payment. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like, but we're not going to be in that,
Right.
position,
Yeah.
Financially. So that's the concern.
Yeah.
We'll put the final decision in the video, because obviously we're still talking about it.
Right.
Well, hopefully that helps you a little bit. Any final words, Professor, that you wanted to say before we close this out?
Nervous as a cat, as always.
Yeah, nervous as a cat. Love that phrase. Well, hopefully, this has been enlightening, informative to you. For those that are following our journey, we really appreciate that you're doing it. If you got suggestions and recommendations for us, let us know in the comments section. This is as real as it gets. A lot of people want to post this because, it might show weakness or it might show change or something, but this is real, and we feel like that's what people want.
Yeah, and I'm truly flattered that somebody that watched a few of our videos just came across us, can see what kind of people we are, and just thought enough of us to reach out and make an offer like this.
Great guy.
Great guy.
That's the type of guy I would love to be around.
Yeah.
He would make me a better person too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, good deal. Well, until the next time, everyone, stay salty.